You may be guilty of this. Maybe you spent a lot of money over the last few months on an expensive summer vacation, or you went to a really expensive concert. We want to get you back on track. Joining me now is Lonny Powell from Alliance Retirement Solutions. Thanks so much for being here this morning.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
So this is not very hard. You've got some easy tips that everybody can do, right?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, the first thing we want to do is get our mind right.
Yeah.
You know, just get in the right mind frame. You know, the biggest mistake that I see a lot of folks making is by spending too much money on a credit card and paying for non-essential items like a vacation and just things that we don't necessarily need. So the first thing I would say is absolutely make it a priority. Do not spend anything unnecessary on a credit card. You know,
this is kind of like being on a diet. You know,
yeah.
You just kind of have to be in the right mindset and hold yourself accountable.
Absolutely, yeah. Just like a juice cleanse helps you with your diet. You know, a quick financial fix can do the exact same thing for your budget. And there are a couple of really easy tips that you can follow to get you right on track there.
So what are some tips that you kind of advise? They're really easy. You can take a fiscal test, right?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, the biggest thing here is stock up your fridge and stock up your gas tank, and then go make it a point not to spend 1 cent throughout the rest of the week, okay? What this does for you is it'll really kind of allow yourself to recognize what your needs versus your wants. And so when you're going out and wanting to spend money, you realize, I don't actually need this. So
is that hard for a lot of people when you say a week? Because, you know, we're so used to grabbing a Coke here or picking up, you know, lunch here or there. It sounds like it could be challenging, but scale it back maybe a couple of days if you can't do a week.
Absolutely, yeah. If you can't go a week, I mean, challenge yourself.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what gets it in your head to the wants versus needs. But yeah, if you can't do a week, just do a couple days and start there from that point.
Okay, so you also mentioned carrying cash better than the credit card, because we get a little crazy with the credit card.
Yeah. Just carry cash and only spend cash. You know, there's something about handing over actual dollar bills versus a piece of plastic that will help you kind of recognize whether we need to spend this money or not. When you go to Vegas and they give you those little plastic chips, they know exactly what they're doing.
Sure.
Yeah, it's a psychological thing. So, and the same thing goes for a plastic credit card as well. So
my son always pulls out my credit card and he thinks it's money, and I'm like, no, this is not actual money.
Not actually, yeah.
You know, so it is kind of putting in our mind, when you have 20 bucks for the rest of the week, spend that 20 bucks versus spending the 40 or 60 you may.
Yeah, you really recognize, is this necessary to give my hard-earned money over to?
Sure. So I liked this tip because I just did this. Purging your place. Have a yard sale. Get rid of the things you don't need.
Yeah, absolutely. We all have so much junk that we just don't need. I mean, the old kids' toys, you know, the crystal from the wedding 20 years ago that's just been sitting in the box. You know, get all that, gather it, and put it in a corner. You know, it'll give you extra motivation to realize, first off, wow, we have all this stuff that we just don't need. You know, donate it, sell it. It'll put a few extra dollars in your pocket, or it's tax write-off for donating things as well. So.
Absolutely. Everybody can do a little bit of that.
Yeah.
All right, so talk to me about what about debt on the credit card?
Yeah, so if you have debt currently, you know, first thing it can be daunting, so you really just want to get organized, you know, first and foremost, and take your credit cards with the smallest balances and pay off the one with the smallest balance first. That'll really kind of motivate you. The rush that you get from paying these things off will kind of motivate you to keep moving forward and just really work towards that, especially going into retirement. It's very important. So.
And that feeling of kind of getting back on track. There's
Absolutely.
nothing like that. All right.
Yeah, it feels great.
Thanks so much for joining us.
Yeah, thank you very much.
All right, we'll be right back.